Morant issued an apology after the Grizzlies suspended him for at least 2 games after he appeared to display. I love when they say appear to display. What the hell else is that? It's a damn gun. I know you're trying to protect yourself from getting sued. It was a damn gun. On Instagram Live while at a nightclub. The NBA is investigating that, right? So here's Morant comes out and said, I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down, including the girls I used to date in the 3rd grade. I mean, he thanked everybody. He was sorry for everything. All right, I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being. Let's stop there. That apology doesn't sound sincere. I'm going to tell you why. It doesn't sound sincere because I don't think that Morant is dealing with stress. I don't think this is a stress release, going to strip clubs and being on IG Live flashing guns. I don't think any of this is stress-induced or stress-related. Now, you can prove me wrong if you want to, Morant, or prove us wrong, but I don't like that line in there. I do like the fact that you said your overall well-being, but no throwaway lines because this is too serious a topic. Your life is too precious, and you have so much to lose for you just to say, hey, I'm going to pander or say anything just to get y'all off my ass. We're not going to do that. Okay, here's the thing. I think it's irresponsible of him to make a statement like that that is not particular to the word because it's unfair to everyone else around his age range. He's 23. There are other guys, 22, 23, 24, stars like him that are not doing any of that, dealing with the same amount of stress he is as being an NBA star, if not more stress, right? Let's be real. This is messed up to a guy like Luka, Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, LaMelo, etc., SGA, who you never hear anything about. Like, those guys are amazing basketball players, spotlight on them, and not acting out like that, but still have the stress of being the most important player on their team. So I thought that was a cop-out. I'm always the one that is going to look at how you're contrite, show your level of contrition to show me how much do you understand your indiscretions. I say it again. When you apologize, I'm actually listening, so that tells me you have the awareness of what you actually did wrong. That apology right there fell a little short, but I'm not going to fully judge him on that. Let's move forward. We saw him flashing the gun. We saw the apology. Then it gets worse. The reports are that he went on a flight to Denver and had a gun. Now the NBA is not looking at just like this 2-game suspension, or it's indefinite and up to 50 games because that is a major violation of NBA policy. And we obviously know why. You go back to Agent Zero days and knowing what he went through. And I know Gil, so trust me, they had to make corrections in legislating this rule. You're in some hot water if you took that gun off property on a flight and onto another NBA site. That's a problem. Let's talk about where all this is coming from, because it's not coming from that Ja can't let the streets go. I hate when I hear that, because I grew up in the streets and I never even hugged the streets, so I didn't even have to let it go. Some guys do, some guys don't. But don't blame the streets, because we're in the same predicament. We're in the same situation. You need to start blaming your sensibilities. You need to start blaming what you actually like and value in life, more so than just the streets. Because the streets didn't grab me. It didn't grab DeMar DeRozan. It didn't grab Tyson Chandler. We all from Compton. Do you want me to continue to go down the line? I just hate the lazy narrative. Oh, since you're from it, oh, you don't know anything but it. Shut up. It's not that. And Morant ain't from that. That's what I'm hearing, which is good, because my kids are not from it either. I wish my kids would get older, accomplish something, make it, and then want to get hood? For what? I'm from it and I don't even act hood. I act corny on purpose because I want you to know I ain't hard, because I actually know what hard looks like. That's why I know that Ja's a fraud and guys like that are fraudulent. I used to know that growing up. Why do I know you're a fraud if you acting like that? Because anybody who's from that don't really want to be about that. Deep down, nobody wants to be into that. So whenever you get away from it and you still acting like that, I question you, dog. I question your sincerity and how real you are. I question your stripes. I know too many OGs right now that are fully formed citizens and acting like normal neighbors who used to bang, bang, bang. But all they wanted and all they got was to get away. And once they got away, they left that shit behind them. So anybody who gets away or not from it and acts like that, come on, dog, we already know what that is. So Ja is in a position now where a lot of his future is in jeopardy, at least the near future. And let's talk about not only why is he acting like this, but what's next for him. What's next for him is to really turn the page. And it's not turn the page from flashing a gun. It's not turn the page from, I'm acting a little too tough for my own good. It's turning the page on realizing what are your goals, not just off the court, but inside in terms of your paradigm, in terms of your value system, in terms of you actually being a contributing member to society more so than just a damn great basketball player who's going to fuck it up. You need to start to realize what's so important about looking hard. And it's not about Ja. The reason I get emotional about this is not because of Ja. It's because of who he impresses. It's because of who he has influence over. It's the thousands and maybe tens, if not hundreds of thousands of kids who look up to this guy, who want to be this guy so much that they'll follow him everywhere, including a path of destruction. They'll say, if it's good for Ja, it's good for me. I'm here to tell y'all, it ain't even good for Ja Morant in this moment. And I know too many guys, man, who really are from it. I'll give you an example. Juju Smith-Schuster. A lot of people say how silly he is, how he a TikToker, and the dude just does too much. Do you know Juju from the hood? Do you know his family from the hood? Do you know Juju don't have to let go of the streets? It's in him. You watch him play, you can tell it's in him. The boy plays hard. He ain't scared of nothing. But he ain't got to go out there with that false bravado act. Got the bandana in my pocket, throwing up and shooting everything I see and flashing guns. Like, I'm swearing, if you are doing that in the position you're in, you ain't even got to come tell me how fake you are, because it's already on full display. So we have all of these things adding up against Ja Morant. Obviously, the laser incident with the Pacers on January 29th, et cetera. We know. I don't want to go through the laundry list of that. What I want to do is get to the place where we stop going down this slippery slope with Ja because of his influence, because of his greatness, and just really get beyond this, reconcile this moment, and be somebody that people can say is truly responsible. So y'all know me. I do not try to impress you with my success, but I try to impact you with my scars. I used to own a gun when I was in the NFL. My rookie year and my second year. So I'm 21 and 22 years old. I'm a little younger than Ja at this moment. And I was a fool. I was responsible at first. I thought I was. I actually got a permit, right? Got a license. Bought the gun legally, obviously. All those good things. And let's say the first few months when I had that gun, everything proper. Put it in the safe, put it in the lock, etc. And then midway through the season, all of a sudden, I started to get a little more irresponsible with the gun. I would put it in this little wallet holster I had. I had a 380, a small wallet holster. So from the outside perspective, it looked like a wallet. But it was much more than that. And I would keep it on me everywhere. And at first, I would take it out, leave it in the car. I would take it out, not bring it into the facilities. But then I got reckless with it. Start bringing it into the facilities. I didn't do any Gilbert Arena stuff. I wasn't even trying to shoot dice or flash it to the homies. None of that. I was just putting it in my locker. And then I would go back. That was illegal. That was illegal. You cannot bring a firearm onto NFL property. And I did it for 2 years. So I'm not sitting here trying to condemn Ja Morant like he's not someone who can reconcile this and come back and be retributed all about this, right? But at the same time, I got to keep it real. I wasn't trying to thug either. I was literally kind of scared that I had money now and I would be a target. But then 2 incidents made me realize, hey, you're either going to be a guy who's going to be fully responsible with this, or you're going to have to get rid of it because you are not living up to the standard necessary to be a gun owner. Here are the 2 incidents. The first one was, it was leaving the club. It's way late. I'm by myself riding, and I have the gun with me, and I haven't used it. I haven't been to the firing range in Buffalo. I did when I was in LA. And it's almost like the gun started talking to me, like, yo, why am I here if we're not even doing anything? What you doing? You protecting yourself? Nobody messing with you. I swear these are real thoughts. And I'm just riding with the gun. Like, I'm 21, 22, bored. I grab the gun. It's pitch dark everywhere. I'm in Buffalo in the woods somewhere. And I just squeeze. Pop, 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 pop. Now, I'm the same guy who grew up where every 4th of July, every New Year's Eve, my grandmother, let alone my family, outside shooting. Celebration, just shooting, right? This is in the city. So now I'm way out in the boonies doing the same thing at 21, 22, jeopardizing my career. So watch how these dominoes are starting to fall even for me, someone who I thought was really responsible, right? The guy from Colombia has a gun illegally on NFL property, now shooting at 3 in the morning going home. That ain't it. You think I would get rid of the gun then, right? Or something tragic would happen. It didn't, but something almost did. Let me tell you this. I'm at a red light. Once again, leaving the club. What did Herm Edwards say? Nothing good happens at the midnight. He ain't lying. Well, one thing happens good, but I can't talk about that. That's pretty vulgar. So here we go. So I'm sitting here. It's a red light, 2:30. And once again, the gun, who was starting to whisper to me, is right here. And I see this guy crossing the street. Without a gun, that's just a guy crossing the street. With a gun, why is that guy looking at me? What does that guy want? Is he trying to rob me? Like, it put me in a different mindset. Maybe it was my age. Maybe it's because of where I'm from. Maybe it's just because I was being irresponsible with the gun. You add it up. That's my mindset. I'm watching this guy, and he stops in front of my car. I have this Lexus GS 400 that was new at the time, so I'm thinking like I'm big shit on the streets. And I'm looking like, he looking at my car kind of crazy. Okay, so now my hand is on my gun. And then he walks over to the driver's side. And I'm like, oh, man, no, we ain't. And I remember he comes to the window and he's just looking like lost, like looking like he don't know what's up. And he knocks on the window. Now I have the gun on my lap. And I'm rolling down the window. And the gun is facing the door. So therefore, if he does anything crazy, bang, it's happening. And I'm looking, and the guy literally says, excuse me, do you know where Laurel Street is? Something like that, random. I lose 100 pounds of anxiety just gone, pressure gone. I take a deep exhale, and I was like, I don't know, big dog. I ain't from here. I ain't from around here. I'm sorry. He goes right in front of the car and walks away. That moment, I knew I had to get rid of that gun because I wasn't ready for that gun. And I don't know if it's age specific or not. I just know what I had at stake, being in the NFL, what I was risking being in the NFL, being that irresponsible with the gun, wasn't worth it, right? Now, John Morant seems like he's in that same mindset. Not from where I'm from, not those kind of harsh conditions, but still, he's glamorizing that life. So he's trying to live it out in symbol, right? All I know is I don't want him to become a symbol. I want him to be an example. I don't want him to be like, okay, I'm a display of what's going down in the hood. You're not from that. And who is from that really raised their hand to be from that? I'm from it. I respect it. I appreciate it. But I've seen too many people way harder than anybody else we could name that once they got away from that, they truly felt the escape and they truly felt their freedom. Ja, you done came too far, big dog, to let this get you and to pull you down. And hopefully this won't undermine your greatness. Keep it going, big dog. I'm thinking of you.